Have you ever stopped to wonder how your computer can find one single file out of thousands in like a split second? Or how a massive database with billions of entries can spit out a result almost instantly? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the brilliant and kind of invisible structure that makes all of that possible.
I mean, seriously, think about it. You've got tons of files, photos, songs, whatever on your computer, yet you can find any one of them pretty much instantly. Now, this isn't magic, not at all. It's an incredibly clever solution to a massive data problem, and its name is the B-tree.
You see, back in the early days of computing, all the data we really needed to worry about could fit into a computer's super-fast main memory, the RAM. But as our digital world just exploded with information, we had to start using much, much larger and, well, slower storage. And that created a huge performance bottleneck.
And that brings us right to the heart of the issue, this massive speed gap between different kinds of computer memory. So in this first part, we're going to dig into why this gap is such a game-changing hurdle for organizing our data.
Okay, so take a look at this pyramid. It shows what we call the memory hierarchy. Right at the tippy top, you've got this tiny, super fast, and really expensive memory. But as you go down the pyramid, the storage gets way, way bigger and a whole lot cheaper, but it also gets dramatically slower. And the problem is, most of our data has to live way down at the bottom, in that slow, cheap storage.
Let's just zero in on these two layers for a second. Think of your fast main memory, your RAM, as a world-class sprinter. And then think of your huge hard disk as a snail. The difference in speed isn't just big, it's absolutely astronomical. And that, right there, is the root of our whole problem.
4 million. Get a load of this number. In the time it takes for your computer to grab just one piece of data from a spinning hard disk, its main processor could have performed 4 million other instructions. That's insane. It's like stopping a Formula One race for an entire hour just to change a single tire. This is the bottleneck we have to solve.
And because of that gigantic speed gap, all the clever data structures that were designed for fast memory, like a classic binary tree, they just completely fall apart when you try to use them on slow disk storage. Every single step in a search becomes this agonizingly long wait.
And to put a number on it, searching a big binary tree on a disk could mean making up to 43 separate trips to that disk. All told, that adds up to almost half a second. And in the world of computing, that's an absolute eternity. Just not acceptable.
So we figured out that these tall, skinny data structures are the problem. So what's the solution? Well, in this next part, we're going to look at a totally radical new approach, the short and fat B-tree.
The strategy here is actually brilliantly simple. If every single trip to the disk is painfully slow and expensive, then the only way to win the game is to make as few trips as possible. And for tree structure, the number of trips you make is its height. So the goal becomes crystal clear. Make the tree as short as humanly possible.
And here's what that looks like in practice. It's awesome. On the left, you see a traditional binary search tree. It's got a height of 5. That's 5 potential, slow disk reads. But on the right, you have a B-tree holding the exact same data, and its height is only 2. By making the individual nodes incredibly wide, we drastically shorten the whole tree and just slash the number of disk reads we have to make.
So this is our hero, the B-tree. At its heart, it's a search tree that's specifically designed with these super wide nodes that can hold hundreds, even thousands of keys at once. This unique short and fat design allows it to stay incredibly flat, even when it's storing a ridiculous amount of data. And that is the secret to its amazing efficiency.
Okay, that's a really cool trick. But how in the world does a B-tree stay so perfectly short as you keep cramming more and more data into it? Well, in this section, we're going to look at the clever mechanism that makes it all work, something called the node split.
So here's the thing. Instead of just growing taller and taller like you'd expect a tree to do, a B-tree's main strategy for growth is to get wider. And it does this by automatically splitting its nodes whenever they get totally full. Come on, let's watch it happen.
All right, let's see this in action. We'll start with just a single node. And for this example, let's say it can hold a maximum of 4 keys. So we'll add C, then G, then N. So far, so good. No problem.
Now let's add the key A. The tree keeps everything nice and sorted. But look, our node is now completely full. We've got A, C, G, and N. There's literally no more room. So the big question is, what happens when we try to add just one more?
And this is where the magic happens. We try to add H, the node is full, so it has to split. The key right in the middle, in this case it's G, gets promoted up to create a brand new parent node. The keys that are left over are then split into 2 new children nodes, and just like that, the tree grew wider, but its overall height only went up by 1.
So that's the simple but really powerful logic right there. A node gets full, it splits around its middle key, the 2 halves become new children, and that middle key gets kicked up to the parent. This elegant little dance automatically keeps the whole tree balanced and, most importantly, short.
And of course, this process just keeps repeating itself. As we add more and more data, another node down the line eventually fills up and splits. Its middle key, M, gets promoted up into the parent that already exists, making that node wider too. This is how the B tree so elegantly expands sideways without getting too tall.
Okay, so this is a really cool computer science concept, for sure. But what does it actually have to do with you and your daily life? Well, in this final section, we're going to see how bee trees are secretly powering the technology you use every single day.
Yeah, the bee tree isn't just some abstract idea from a textbook. It is the fundamental invisible engine that allows so much of our modern digital world to run quickly and smoothly.
You'll find bee trees pumping away at the heart of nearly every major database system that runs our world. They're inside the file system on your very own laptop, organizing all your documents. And they are an absolutely critical part of the indexes that let search engines find that one needle in the entire internet's haystack.
And here it is. This is the incredible payoff. With a bee tree, you can find one single item among 2 million entries with a maximum of just 3 trips to the disk. A binary tree would have needed over 20. That is a game-changing, revolutionary improvement, and it's what makes modern, large-scale computing even possible.
The bee tree really is a hidden gem of computer science, just a beautiful, elegant solution to a massive problem that makes our digital lives feel effortless. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible structures like this are out there, silently shaping our world?